Okay, welcome everybody to today's art lesson. We're still setting up, so right now we're setting up the camera angles. Joe has written welcome for us. Thank you for joining us. And all we have to do is grab a notebook, grab a marker or a pen or a pencil, and just do what Joe does. Joe will explain to us the basics and the fundamentals of drawing. Maybe he can give us tips on how often we can practice, what kind of things we can practice with, maybe certain shapes or certain references or certain cartoons that he might recommend in order to imitate the art style or whatever inspirations that Joe has. So, Joe, as I start setting up a little better, would you like to begin?
Yep, sounds good. All right, what I'm using right here is just a basic cayenne pepper, obviously. All I want you guys to get is a hold of maybe this little Sharpie. Fine pine is what I use. Um, we might be using another one, but I don't think so. For the whole lesson, for this one, we'll be using the Sharpie, fine point. And if you guys can get your hands on any other kind of marker, that's fine. This is a brand new one, so this, as you can see, this point is very, very, very sharp. I'll be using that for one technique. And this other one is exactly the same, but it's been a little bit worn down, as you can notice. Like you see the roundness. I'm not sure if you could get that in there, but that right there will actually be the only two markers we'll be using. Same mark, same brand, just one's been a little bit worn out. And I'll get to the point of that right now. It's one is a little bit finer. Gets us that sharp edge look to everything. And so, just want to see if everybody can see me here. And once again, to all of you and just joining us, welcome. And I'd like to just warm you guys up a little bit. And so, what I like to do is I like to brainstorm. I like to draw anything that comes to mind. And so right now I'm thinking something really simple. This doesn't have to be too hard, too mechanical, not something that would take too long. Something to get your hands moving, your imagination going a little bit. And feel the looseness of the pencil, the pen as it goes on paper. And I think what we'll do is we'll start with something like, all of you are watching me, so I guess I'll try to watch you with my eye. So everyone comes up to me and says, well, how circular and how round it could look. And so what I'm trying to give you guys is a human eye, okay? So what I usually do is I come up on this hill right here. It doesn't have to be a perfect hill. It doesn't have to be too round, just right there, Very simple. Go a little bit of shade, just a little bit road off there. Extend off there. Doesn't have to be perfect. What you're going to do is you're going to come up the opposite. Kind of extend it. So it's kind of like a boat, you know what I mean? But this part of the boat will sort of hang out. Kind of almost looks like a Viking boat this way, right? So kind of think of it that way. An opposite Viking boat like that, Only it's not, wouldn't have that middle section right there. Kind of have more of a tortoise look to it. All right. So now for the eye. You don't have to be perfect. It could be a square eye. It could be a triangle eye. For this lesson, I think I will just do something very simple. And just go around, And as you do this, just kind of feel for it. It doesn't have to be, like you see how it doesn't come out on the first time. Nobody's ever going to get it on the first try like that. Unless you're a Guinness Book of World Records holder, but we'll talk about that later. So what I do is I try to find just the center and then go from there and grow it and grow the ink as I go along. Okay?
Sorry to interrupt. Do you think that one of the tips we could say is that in order to make the circle as round as we can or to find the center in order to put the pupil, we have to sort of eyeball it, pun intended? Sorry, cheesy. Go ahead. Continue.
All right, more interruptions from that student right there. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, though. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm starting to add a little bit of shade to this, and it's gonna be a feminine eye. So obviously, I mean, it's a lot of mascara. I mean, man, unless you're a guy that's you're in goth and stuff like that. And so for the eyebrow, I like to do different types of eyebrows. There's hairy eyebrows. I mean, I could do a hairy eyebrow. Like there you go. You can be like a monster. And what you do is you try to imagine what some people can't go. They'll go off and they make a caterpillar and oh shit. All right, what you want to do is you just want to imagine a simple line, a chola line, if you will, if you would think. Have you ever seen like gangster girls like do their makeup and shit like that? So what you do is that's kind of like the skeleton. You follow that all the way through. What you're gonna do at the end of it is you might want to give it like a little bit of an edge like this. This person might be, vampiric of some kind of origin. And so if he's going to do that, we might want to almost connect his hairs right here in the center where his other eye would be. I guess his nose. And imagine a nose right there, you don't have to make it perfect, like I said. And for the eyes on the corners, what I like to do is just kind of round it off right here. Now, if you were to go into more detail, I would go like, I'd give you the pupils like that. So if you do want to go into there, I would recommend that you get one of these finer, even sharper Sharpie pens. The fine point as well. And what you do is, let you get really real close in there. Just add these extensions. Out, out, out. Start in the middle, out. You can even do this trick. I do the cross. You see that? Cross, another cross, across the cross, cross the cross. And so then you fill in the voids. So if everybody's with me still, you probably have a sloppy eye. But that's just details right there.
Can I show you
Remember,
what I've made so
ones,
far, Joe?
Go ahead, yeah, sure.
Are you able to see?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like
Okay.
Marilyn Manson's looking at it.
Oh, wow. I'll take that as a compliment. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, thank you for
All right.
showing us how to draw an eye. This was these tips are very useful. Now I won't forget it. I mean,
All right.
if we remember all those tips about the upside down biking boat, about
Yeah, there you go.
not worrying too much about making the circle perfect. I think there's no such thing as a perfect circle, right? There's always imperfections as long as
There's none.
it approximates.
Unless you trace it. Unless you trace it or something.
Right, unless you trace it from something that's already perfectly circular. But at a drawing, would you say that art allows for minor imperfections here and there, is forgiving of minor imperfections? It's not like you're drawing a blueprint of a house or something where everything has to be perfect, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's I like to use the term when I describe a person is that we're all imperfectly perfect, and the same goes with art. Is that you may think that everything right here is flawed. You may think, well, this nose kind of comes off to the side, and you can always fix the stuff. Everything is fixable, unless you get too far into it and you just feel like that's not what you originally wanted to do.
Right.
So, I mean, there you go. There's the nose.
The concept
And
of
I mean,
the
it's just
yeah,
like you.
the perfect imperfections
Anyways.
in art.
So yeah, don't be a crybaby, and try not to judge yourself too hard when you do this artwork. So, all right, moving on. Same paper, little smaller piece right here. Okay.
Yeah, just to show you, so
you guys
this
can
is what I have so far myself. So let's follow along with the next example then.
All right, another one. Another thing that makes us cry can be death. And what is a symbol of death? But a skull. So, we're going to go back to the comic book ways of doing these things. So I'm gonna do a little bit of pencil for you guys. Don't know how well it'll show up. If it doesn't, I'll just go back to pen. All right. So what I want you guys to do is get any kind of pen, pencil, mechanical pencil. This is what I use. Regular pencils are fine. Number 2s, whatever. If you want to use like a lighter one, that'd be fine. You know, because you can erase this off, and it comes back off. You know. All right. Once again, we're gonna go into circular motion. And there's a little bit of comic book type of drawing, okay? So what I want you guys to do, once again, a circle. Only this time it's going to be a little bit more towards one area towards the top, right? So I want you guys to imagine like the dome on a grandpa's head, you know, a bald dude's head, maybe a biker dude, you know, of some kind. Or just quite very beautifully like Stone Cold Steve Austin's beautiful bald head. That's probably the best way I could describe it, okay? And what I want you guys to do is that, how do you know the top from the bottom? Well, you just put a line right here. Not a perfect line. We're going to make this one sort of face towards the edge, a little bit off the edge, and an angle. So a little bit off the angle, right there. Did you see that pretty good?
Yes, I could see that quite well.
Okay. For those of you out there, if you guys need to adjust your phones or whatever, or your laptops, let me know. What this represents is the center of the head. Now, what we usually do is we do another line right on the across the face, and what this indicates is where we'll be placing the eyes, the nose, and everything else, the mouth as well. And what I want you guys to think of is a crucifix, or I guess, in this case, a crucifix, yeah. And right where Jesus' other arm, one arm will be, we're going to do 9. We're going to start at the middle, right here, and work our way out. Out, just like that. Making not so much a rectangular shape, but a smooth rectangle, if you will. And sort of blow it out of proportion. Blow it out, stretch it out. You know? Push it as far as you can. Right here on the side is what I like to put a detail for the forehead. Actually, the side of the forehead is where people might get like migraines, just like me. This actually connects next to where the ear would be, somewhere right here. Just kind of draw it. But we're not going to do the ear, because it's a skull, so they don't have ears. So I want you to kind of imagine, we're going to come back over here. This is already done. Just a little imprint right there. A little engraving. Not too much detail, you know? Like I said, we're going to try to ink this out again, so as best as possible. And once again, I want you to start right here. What I like to do is I already have it in my head, and I'm already used to doing skulls, so many skulls that I just kind of already draw it like that, you know? And here's the center. But what I like to do is when I start teaching people, I go right there. Try to pick 2 little spots right there where you think Jesus' hands would be, or quite possibly his elbows. And then just start from the middle, and go out, and start spreading it out. That triangular look. Try to imagine the eye and how a mask would look on your face. You'd have to have a lot of space on your face in order for your eyes to be able to see around. And I don't know if God intended that, but yeah, that's how we are. But that's how our skeletal parts are. And so our nose would be our nose, would be something like that. If I was to do another face, but something like this, yeah, you know, maybe do a little bit of side there. I went a little too fast there. I zoomed a little too fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, erase a little bit. If you guys want to go around and erase everything else, like the lines, and you don't like them, that's totally fine. Just try not to get what's already on there.
Oh, can I interrupt for a second?
Like I said, you're going to do this with the marker over.
Oh, sorry to interrupt,
go for
Joe.
it.
But a question that people might have about the lines. So since we're going to have to erase them anyway, would you suggest that when we create the lines, we do it softly and not too hard so that it's easier to erase?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, very softly right there, you know.
Okay, great.
We're going to erase everything right now. Well, so I will show you what. So, And so I imagine that line's still there. If you guys need it, that's cool. Keep it there. If not, that's totally fine. What I want you guys to do is I want you guys to make a sort of like an inverted heart. Is what I always picture the nose cavity to be. So as we see that, it's an inverted heart. There you go. See?
Right.
It's upside down.
Yeah.
I always see this every time I see a skull. Is I always see an inverted heart, and I guess it kind of goes with it. It's very sad. It's it's.
I never thought of it
It's not
that
full of
way.
flesh.
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah,
but
I
now,
actually did.
yeah.
I saw a lot of symbolism to it, a lot. So if you can see, even like this shading that I'm putting on here, this mistake stuff, is actually giving it a little bit of depth, and making it look like a real skull. You see that, right? So, anyways,
giving depth to
lay
death.
down your heart, your inverted heart. There you go. Sorry, go ahead.
I
What was
said
it?
giving death to death. Another cheesy joke. Ignore it.
I guess giving you a little bit of life to death. I guess, yeah. But anyways, what you want to come down here is you're gonna see an imaginary mouth. What I want you to do is just kind of make it right across the whole face right here, right across. So you may say, well, where's the chin? We're not gonna get to the chin. We're only gonna do this top part of the mouth. Make it very easy for you guys. So once you get to one end, you're gonna sort of imagine right here the cheekbone. The cheekbone is very simple. It's where your cheeks are. But there are a lot more, they're like these little inverted little moons, if you will. Not a whole, like a crescent moon, but a waning moon, if you will. What I mean by waning moon is more like, just like that. Not a whole crescent moon. A crescent moon is this right here. You don't want that. So, coming back over here, you want to align this with the mouth. This will be the bottom part of the mouth, actually. And right here, as the same line that's coming, like I'm going to redraw it again. The same line that comes all the way down that nose into the middle of the heart, you're going to draw two buck teeth if you want. It doesn't matter. These are the two teeth that show the most when anybody smiles. You're going to draw another one. You're going to think, I want you to think of these as like the candy corn that you guys get in Halloween. And yeah, we're getting pretty Halloween oriented here.
I know.
And put them down as a row of just like that. And they come together, I mean, to another person, you were like, well, shit, how did you do that? It's just like that, Well, you have to flow at it, Like I said, I've been doing these skulls for thousands of years, hundreds of years. I've lived on this planet for millions of years. I'm actually an alien in a man suit. Anyways, there you go. Sorry, it's spoiler alert. Right here in the back of the cranium, you're gonna sort of round it off, give it this moon shape. And obviously his teeth look pretty dirty from right where I'm standing, so that's okay. Now, if you guys want to add like details to this is just the basics of doing a skull. I want you guys to always imagine this as you do a skull from now on. But we're gonna go back over it.
I'm gonna show what I have so far. If it's visible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There you go. That's pretty straight on. Now for the inside, just go nuts. You could do the little line outward, or you could just go right here. Just because I mean it's all right here. You just gotta follow everything that's dark. There you go. There's no glare, is there? Like on the video?
It's fine.
As you can see, there's no glare. Is there?
Yeah, it's fine.
Because this ink can it can shine for a little bit. So once again, heart, inverted heart. And this is where you can sort of add like a little bit more detail. You could add a little bit of like decrepitness to him. He sort of look a little bit nastier, a little bit more older, decrepit looking. There you go. So what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of shading, but I think we'll get to that at the end. So once again, just kind of try and get all of these things that you've already drawn. Just kind of trace over it. We got the candy corn teeth over here. Maybe he was British. I don't know. He's got some big ass teeth. And so go back up here. We're gonna add a little bit of forehead onto him. So just like that. I know somebody has a dirty joke about the forehead thing right now, but sorry guys. Keep it to yourselves. All right.
Oh,
so
I'm just
how I
still
went
trying
around
to get over
and-
that very racist joke you made about the British. I'm traumatized, actually. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, the buck teeth. Oh yeah, you know. Hey, I mean, you know.
We're kidding, British people. We're kidding.
Everyone's offended. I'm sorry, guys. You know, if there's any British people out there, hey, you guys don't have the ruined teeth. You just, you know, just the majority. No.
Yeah, not
No.
everybody. It's
All right,
just
so-
the majority.
Not everybody, just everybody. You know. Okay, so we're gonna come in here. We're gonna add a little bit of a shade to the side of the eye. You see? And right up here, I want you guys to do these lines. Just kind of, whenever you go in there, you just less. Okay? You want to start with close and then less. And you want to do shading. Go close and then less. Alright. And it's going to be right up here on the forehead, right? Close and less. There you go. You add a little bit of details right here on the cheek. That's what I like to do. More and less. It's almost like a sound wave going through his face. More, less. And you kind of ease to one side.
That's actually really helpful. That's a
Yeah.
very good tip.
Yes. And as you add a little bit of detail here and there, just remember this is a skull. You want to keep it very basic. So now, come back to a pencil and eraser. Erasers, I recommend not these actually. I have another one. I can't find it to it. Oh, here it is. I recommend people get these gummy erasers. They come in like this square shape. What you can do is you can play with this as well. It looks like Play-Doh or something like that. It's a lot harder though. What you want to do, it's amazing what you can do with this stuff. It's only so much you can use it with, but you want to come into there. You want to really grab down your pencil, your paper, and just erase. Remove all of that pencil in there.
Where do they sell those, more or less?
You can get these at your common art store. What I do is I go to either Michael's. More, I would recommend Hobby Lobby because they're a lot cheaper, and quite possibly even you can even try your Office Max stores as well. They actually carry some. Sometimes they'll have like aisles for your art stuff and all that. So you can ask for this. Like you can ask for all the different types of erasers they have. So right here, as you can see, there's a little bit of like ink that didn't get on there. Because sometimes the darkness will go crazy. But other than that, what do you guys think? I mean, let's see. What did you do, Carlos? How did yours come out?
Well, I sort of disobeyed not drawing the chin, so sorry about that. I forgot about that. But here's my
that's
attempt.
okay.
And, well, I like the way it came out. Of course, yours came a lot better, but, you know, with practice, I mean, things just get better with practice. So at least I know the fundamentals now. So thanks.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to something a little bit brighter. A little bit less grim. Oh, that's a little stain, but after. All right. So, Carlos, I'll leave this up to you. What do you think I should draw? I'll try to simplify it for
A unicorn. Inside joke, by the way.
Yeah, we'll tell you guys later about that. Okay. So as long as I've known Carlos, he's always seen me draw morbid stuff. And one day I remember him coming up to me and saying, "Man, why don't you draw unicorns and rainbows and stuff like that?" And so one day I actually did. but I drew a unicorn, but his head was cut off. And I drew a rainbow, but the rainbow was blood. And I don't know if I could draw that right now. Well, actually, I will. Sure, just for the hell of it. But I won't decapitate him this time. I'll just do the top head, is what I mean.
All
Okay.
right.
Horses. Very beautiful creatures. So before you even go into a unicorn, I mean, it's pretty easy what we're going to do when we think about it. It's obviously going to be a horse with a horn on his head. Okay. So, try to get it as straight as possible like that. There you go. Okay, loosen up. Alright. And we're going to go freehand on this one, okay? Ball point, okay? I don't want you guys to do the, well, yeah, we'll go back to pencil. Oh, we'll try pencil, yeah. Alright. Mechanical pencil, or any kind of pencil. What I want you guys to do, we're going to go real fast on the sketching, alright? So, what I want you guys to, like, sort of imagine is a big circle. This right here is his cheek. You can't see it right now. It will be there. What we're going to do is the top part of his head. Well, actually the bottom. And what we're going to do, it's kind of like a turbine on a car. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those. The belts on cars, I'm sorry. What we're going to do is kind of put that down here. Imagine there's another little circle over here. And these things are turning, you know. Rah, 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 rah. Hopefully the belt will not break and you don't go to Jiffy Lube and they don't rip you off. And that's what you do.
So far I'm sorry, Joe. So far we've insulted the British, then Jiffy Lube. I'm gonna make a whole list of like people that are not gonna sponsor us. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Well, Jiffy Lube for sure. We don't need them. Okay. Nobody needs them. Anyway, I have many bad experiences with them. Okay. So I skipped this part right here, but you're gonna come in, sort of make it like a little bone in that, and you're gonna put the top of his head. As you can see, it gets really thick. So what you do is you can see how I push the line that way. If I erase it a certain way, you may think, well, duh, you know. For so you, those of you guys are advanced, or well, duh. And then you start getting to the forehead. Right here. Right around here. And like I said, this is just quick sketch. We're just making the basic bones of what will be a horse, or I guess in this case a unicorn. A mythical horse. So, there we go. 2 turbines connected, bottom part with the chin. And for the chin, well, you can put a little bit of detail right there. Like I said, we'll come back to it. More importantly, I want you guys to get down the ears first. The ears will sort of look almost like leaves. And if you've ever seen a horse, they're very much like that. So what you're going to do is I'm going to erase the hell out of this and I'm going to go back.
Bless you.
Oh, you can draw a leaf on there. Thank you. I coughed actually. But thank you anyways. So I'm going to draw a leaf. Literally. A leaf. Right there. You guys see it?
Oh, right. That's true. That is a leaf.
It is literally a leaf. And now I'm going to show you how it's going to turn into an ear. You're going to erase one side of the leaf. That doesn't exist anymore. You're going to... sorry, tongue-tied. You're going to erase the side of it over here. We come in here, give an edge, and connect it to the head, just like that. How does that look? Not bad, huh?
Not bad.
Everyone, cool. And if you're not, catch up. We learn fast and we draw fast, and that's how life comes at you.
You could always rewind the
All
video anyway.
Yeah, all right. Neck part, coming back down, coming back strong. They have big necks, so what you want to do is come about a little bit far as a ways from the big circular turbine. You're going to come down, you're going to push down this way, give the horse a little bit of background. We're gonna just kind of fade it out, okay? So there you go. If you don't like the way that your horse is looking, you can make him a little bit thicker, a little bit more agile. We're gonna imagine one more line right here that actually is where the throat part is. We're just gonna come back down here. Same method as the eye, by the way. Chola eyebrow, and then shade it in like that. There you go. And that right there is the chin part. Now we're gonna erase this top part of our turban. And the top part of our wheel. We're gonna erase this part right here. And it kind of looks like he's chewing something. I don't know why. I guess we could put like an apple in his mouth or something.
Which might lead
So
to
there
the
you go.
next tip, right, Joe? Like, let's say you're drawing something, and then you accidentally make it look like it's doing something. Maybe you could just roll with it. Sometimes improvisation is good in art, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. I mean, look, he actually looks like he's chewing something. He's like, You put a little bit of, a big cheek of food right here. I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty good.
There you go.
There you go. You can be wacky with it. You can roll anything like that, Give him a loving eyes for all I care. I mean, it's your creation. You can make it however you'd like.
Exactly.
You can add spines on it, make him into a dinosaur or something. But what we're gonna go to right here is in sort of on top part of his mouth. We're gonna put a little bit of indentation here and go into his mouth like that. Okay. For the mouth part, I'll leave it just up to you like that. There you go. Horses do not have that big of a mouth. They have horrifyingly scary big ass teeth. I have fed one an apple, and it literally destroys it with one bite.
Wow.
If you guys have ever seen an apple get destroyed in one bite, feed a horse, and you will see how much they love apples.
Wow.
This is too much, though, right here. You see, he's starting to get lips. So maybe we'll make it into a female. There you go. You're gonna make you a chola unicorn. There you go. And what do cholas have? Big, giant eyebrows. I mean, the kind that make Ronald McDonald, there you go, someone else who's not going to sponsor us, jealous as hell. We're going to come in, do a little mini eye. Do a little mini eye. Remember, the little arc. And turtle stomach right there. There you go, we got a little female looking horse. I don't know what kind of horse would use makeup, but this is one of them. There you go, a unicorn that is not very pleased with their own look. And so we're gonna come down. The black part of the eye of a horse is very, very dark. I want you guys to imagine that. So don't be shy on putting in a lot of darkness in there. Now you can make it look beady like, South Park characters, if that makes sense. So there you go. We got the basic look of it. Now I want you to guys come back. We're gonna make it look even simpler. So we're gonna come in, just like that. Go around on the leaf. Connect it. Boom. Done. Now we're gonna bring it in. Add a little bit of shading. Remember that start, close, and then out, just like that. That one got a little too dark. All right, since I kind of am not that good on the horse faces, I will admit I'm not perfect. I'm going to cover this beautiful horse's face a bit, and I want you to think of hair on your face. I want you to kind of make strands like that. How would hair look like that, Just coming down, It grows downward. You can make it straight. Or you can make it, curly looking. I'm going to go with a little bit of a wavy effect. It's going to go all the way back here. It gets more and more curlier as it goes down. You also want to kind of come in and at the same time do all these these tracing these lines that you didn't get. Put a little bit of shading in there. It always helps. Once again, start slow. Boom, choop, 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 choop. All right, right here in the neck, we don't want a line because that'll look weird. So we kind of want to start right here. Right there, see? Sorry, right there. Come out. Follow everything you've done, and then just kind of make it better if you want. The nose, just a little bit of a shell right there, like a little black shell. Once again, we're going to try and do that little bit of indentation. Oh, I forgot the eye. Not going to be too much details in the eye. Kind of bring that out. Lines can very much help you out in bringing out the shade and the distance of many things. Right here, we're going to come back down on his neck. I'm going to follow it. Just like that. What we did over here, same thing. Line, stop, lots, little, less. Boom, like an echo. Just like that. Sound waves, sound bars. Because sometimes life can be nice and quiet and it can be very loud. Just like Bob Ross's videos, who I actually used to watch when I was a child. And he used to draw things just like this.
Yep, that guy was awesome.
Yes, he was. Very big inspiration, Bob Rossi was. Alright, and so what I want you to do is just go wild on the hair. Sometimes there's one like one very basic thing that I see people do, and that's this. You can do that. There you go, see? A little spiky hair type effect. What I want you to do is put it down in the neck. Because believe me, horses have a lot of hair. It's very beautiful. So you want to leave it strand out, you know? So you might want to say, well, what if I want to do, a different kind of hair? I don't want to make it dark. So what you want to do, I'm going to do like a little bottom part of it right here. Very fast, I'm going to do this. Just to catch up. And for an example, you're going to draw the hair before you even color it. Just like that. And if you want to put in more details, it has different effects on how the actual sorry, I was striking right there. The hair will look. Like I said, right here, cover his face. Funny thing, I kind of think the bottom one came out better, This one kind of came out Michael Jackson-y looking. He got too much mousse and hair in there. Whee!
That's what I was thinking too. Michael
Yeah,
Jackson
a little
horse.
too Michael Jackson there. Yeah.
I would love to see a
Maybe
horse
we'll give
do a
him
moonwalk, wouldn't you?
Oh, he'd probably break his legs about 50,000 times before you could really do it. But yeah, it'd be entertaining. There you go. We're gonna give him the shoulder pads.
Oh dang! You weren't kidding.
I'm just kind of going off of it. And so here we go. This is when you really let go of your imagination. You remember all these things you see in your head,
A Michael Jackson horse.
and you roll with it.
You heard it here
There you
first.
go.
Whoever thought of that idea before? Nobody but here. Heard it here
Nobody.
first.
And there you go. All right, unicorn. Back to this other basic drawing. I mean, it's pretty easy. How do you make it into a unicorn? Here we go. You guys ready for this? Secret trait of the universe. A corn, just like that. It's the horn.
Oh wow.
A corn. Why did I say corn? It's such against corn. A spike coming right out of there. And you want to do a circular motion because they're twisted for some reason. They look like candy somethings. Would I kill a unicorn just to taste his unicorn? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I would. I would probably harvest him. I am sorry, Carlos. I know you are vegan.
I guess
Now I have a
we're not gonna get sponsored by unicorns anymore. First it was the British, then it was McDonald's, now it's
tried.
unicorns, and I'm pretty sure I forgot
tried.
one.
I don't know. But yeah.
Wee! How would it go? Wee! Like a neigh and a wee at
Oh
the
yeah.
same time.
There you go. Oh. So how's yours, Carlos?
Oh, well, I sort of like got ahead of myself with the and put the horn already, so it looks a little different, but everything else I tried to
No one
follow
ripped
along
the horn.
more or less. Like, I don't know, mine looks like a very depressed unicorn that wants to fight someone. Like, blah. But I like the way it looks, to be honest. I really do. There's no way I could have made this without the tips that you showed me. And that trick about using the cylinder shape, I think it's really useful.
Yep. All right. What else do you guys want me to do? I got one for a really easy one. Little. When you're traveling out there, since we're doing horses and all that, coming down the old road, you come across a lot of cactuses. You may think, well, why the hell would I want to draw a cactus?
Texas.
And I'm going to show you an example of death. Because if you ever come across a field of lots of these things, you see how beautiful it could look like in a sunset. All right. We're going to go rectangular here. You ready, Carlos?
Yes.
All right, good to go? Everybody good to go? I don't know, I am. Okay. Horizon. Not perfect. Doesn't have to be. This is the line. This is the horizon. This is where the sun sets, sun rises. We're going to get deep now, guys. We are not going to go detailed. We are going to show you how light can come out and stretch. So I want you to pick any part of the page and just go up and make a little sprout out like that. Little line. What I want you guys to do is take that little pole, give it a little circular top head right there, come back down. What you're gonna do is you're gonna give a little bit of darkness to this back part. Not too much, don't worry too much about the other side. Now there you go. Now leave this little part right there. That's the light. We're gonna give it some arms now. We're gonna come in. It's gonna be hello, because they all wave at you. I want you to go to the bottom part right here of the elbow and come on to the other side. As Jim Morrison would say, break on to the other side. And I want you guys to put another little arm right down here, because he's not perfect. Once again, imperfection is perfection. Always remember that. If I had a classroom, I would make everyone say that at the same time. What is that, students? Imperfection is perfection. Damn straight. Right here. Once again, we're going to shade this in here. I'm sorry I'm talking so much. I get carried away. And once again, these sides are the cactus. Light. Leave them. That's fine. Okay, put a little bit of details, a little bit of lineage, whatever. Come back to it later.
Wow, that looks actually really good so far. Like, I wasn't expecting
and there you go.
A cactus to come out of that.
And it's very simple. Yeah, and it's very simple. And you might look back at it, and I want you guys to go back and just see. Wow, look at that. Cactus. You may not see the sun yet. Well, here, I'll give you a little bit of help. I want you guys to come back down here. Do a sun. Could be a small sun, could be a big sun. Doesn't matter. Maybe it's rising, maybe it's going down.
It could be the
Maybe
twin
you're
sons
tired,
of
like me.
Tatooine from Star Wars.
There you go. There can be two. There you go. And it won't be a mistake or anything, because they'll be like, hey, this is Tatooine. You just didn't go to the countryside.
Yep.
Drugs are illegal there. Or something, I don't know. Some kind of weird law. You might want to add a little bit of, here and there, kind of like dots or whatever. To add a little bit of detail, not too much. What we're going to do is we're going to come down on the legs. Connect them into the ground. Into, not the void, I guess, but the ground itself. Give them a little basis. Give them a little plant friend right here. Choom, 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 choom. Spiky. There you go. Choom, choom, choom. Kind of looks like a porcupine. He's hiding behind him. What kind of secrets does he hold? I don't know. What I want you guys to do is think of a tequila maguey plant. If anybody has seen that, you have very good thoughts and you know what this looks like. What I want you to do is we want to start like a little line like this and a little line like that. And it's almost like an inverted T with a small body. And it's going to go like this. It's going to spread out, just like the sun. It's going to extend. Because that's what plants do. They grow out, they extend. They're extension of nature. And as you can see, you're already thinking, wow, this is already a good postcard or a little, corner image. Well, here, let's keep going. Let's keep making more desert. Let's say you want to make let's say over here a big tower, the big ones that you kind of see over in I forget what states. You might want to look this up afterwards, but kind of like Devil's Tower if you guys have ever seen it. You're going to come up here and you're going to make nature's buildings, my friend, and you're going to sort of add a little bit of detail. Just the line is right there. Just go with it, man. Just go. Remember, the floor is going to be pretty dark because the whole light is coming this way. It's going up, shooting out into the sky. What you're going to do is come back down. Give it a little detail as you come back down, all right? Then we're going to shoot back up again. Give it a little brother right there. Or sister.
Or non-gender conforming.
You guys want to put plants there you go. Right, yeah. And once again, so I'm actually doing shading on the running side. So what I'm going to do, there you go. Imperfection is perfection. I already put a little bit of shading on there. I can fix that though, because I'm going to make him a little bit fatter on this side. There you go. Did you see what I did? I already added a little bit more to him. A little bit more fattishness. So maybe that part of the
So is that like a little hill, desert hill or something, like a mold and like a sort of like a little hill in the desert of dirt or something?
These are like rocks that kind of come out of there were once the ocean a long time ago. I don't know if they ever told you, but like the desert were once inhabited by like lots of like sea life.
Oh, I didn't know that about geology.
Yeah. These were actually the top parts. You want to darken it up right here. Darken this side up. Right there, right there, right there. Boom, 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 boom. Come back down. Come back down. And shoot up again. We go fast, so don't worry. You want to put that roundness, just like you would on the moon. But I'm not going to put a moon right here because it's a bad example. Alright, same thing on his little brother here. Or his little sister. Add a little bit of chunkiness if you want at the same time. At the same time, you're putting the shade. And you're making details as you go along. The floor, don't worry too much about it. Just kind of sweep it. Sweep back and forth as you go down. You're making the ground. I don't want to rhyme, but I did. And maybe off in the distance, we're going to put just a little small cactus over here. Another one, he's waving to his brother over here. Maybe he has another freak arm. I don't know. Maybe that's not his freak arm. Maybe that's something inappropriate. And maybe, I don't know. I'm going a little too far with that. Anyways, we're gonna put another cactus in right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this one a little bit taller, a little bit thicker, because he's gonna be close in between both of these guys. He's gonna go, hey guys, I can wave too. But this guy's gonna be like the McDonald's M. There you go. There you go. I'll let you guys catch up. Me, I will sort of start doing this effect right here. So what I meant by the sharp pen and this other fatter side of a pen is that when you try to do that with this one, it's a dying pen is what I like to call it. It's a faded pen. Look at how much more technique I can bring down with that. It's the same as when I start doing the lines and it goes like that. But it's a little bit softer because when it starts to die out as a pen, I never throw away pens that are starting to fade because I can do this effect. And you can start pushing that all around. It's a little bit like a faded brush. What you do is you just wave it around. And adds a little bit more softness to everything. What you want to do that is put all across the ground. Doesn't necessarily have to be on everything that's in the light. All across the ground.
Wow, that looks amazing.
It's a big sky, you know. Yeah, it's a pretty big sky we got, right?
Yeah.
What I used to see up in the sky when I used to travel a lot with my dad in the trucking biz
UFOs?
is, oddly enough, yes.
Ah!
But that's too easy. That's just a flying saucer. That's just a flying saucer.
Right.
I want you guys to do an eagle. How are we going to do an eagle? My God, how would people know what an eagle looks like? Well, here's a bird. Those are just birds. From far away, right? The little McDonald's M. Boom. And you just kind of put two little hills right there. They almost look like eyebrows. Let me get a pencil. What you gonna do? They almost look like eyebrows. Hey, what are you talking about? I got a unibrow. All right. Kind of looks like a Goomba.
Okay, now
But from far
next
away-
on the list of offended people are people with unibrows, which, by the way, I used to have one. Anyway,
And
go ahead.
Goombas are people of Goomba origin.
Yeah.
And right here, what I want you to do, big wing, just boom, light. And from the same body part right here, we're just gonna put a little bit of body, and we're gonna go out, extend, and stop. That's simple. That's all you do. You fill in the void right here where his body is, and you do the exact same thing. But this one is going to be a little bit more smaller. Come out, and from the same part of the armpit right here, shoom, 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 shoom. Think of the drums that the Indians use. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. And right at the end of the base, you will see a tail. Think of a triangle. Kind of give it an edge. Like that. That's so. And give it a little bit of a head. Not too big a head, whatever. Maybe no head at all. Just kind of hide it within the wings. Add more little birds right there. More hawks, perhaps. If you want to do one in the distance, we're going to go real small now. Real fast. We're going to come back out here. Make it up. So you see how that shape came out right there? That's what I want. I visualize when I see this other eagle. Kind of has a little bit. Let me fix that tail right there for you. There you guys go.
I have to
There.
say, it looks amazing. Yours looks really amazing. In fact, I like it more than my own, but I also like what I drew too. So thank you very much for your instruction. I used a pencil, but I like how it looks. And yours actually looks
That actually is
amazing.
good, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm gonna
Finish
take a
this last one.
screenshot right now as you're drawing, and in order to keep that as a reference.
There you go.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
And so what I like to do in the desert too is kind of even it off over there. I'm gonna put this one in, and this is how fast I draw. Okay, so we're gonna speed up now. You guys can take a break, whatever. I'm gonna show you guys how fast I can draw now.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask
Yeah.
Joe as well. So, speaking of taking a break, so if we could conclude with you drawing a dragon, and I know that might be very advanced for people barely learning how to draw, but just so that we can see an example of what we can do once our skills grow. You know, in this section, it would be optional to follow you along, so you could go as fast as you want, but we would just watch you draw something like that. And I think that would be great. And as you draw, maybe you can give us tips on, you know, how you learn to draw and how you practice, and, you know, regular tips like that. One thing that I'm particularly curious about is, you know, like how you drew the horse and all those things. Did you learn that on your own, or did you learn it from some sort of, you know, teacher or book, or are a lot of these tips and tricks originally your creations, or did you find inspiration from seasoned artists as well, or a mix of all of that? You know, maybe that could be part of the discussion, as well as what inspirations, like what cartoons or whatever else inspires you when it comes to drawings. You know, would that be fine?
That's fine. I'm just trying to finish up this one right here.
All right, take your time.
Trying to show people how fast I go. And I really wanted to come out really as nice as possible. There you go.
Oh wow, that's
Beautiful done.
amazing. Oh god, can you
Once
just
again,
hold
just
it?
keep the bottom black. Yeah.
Can you just hold it for like 10 seconds? Let me take a screenshot of it.
Right here. There you go.
Yeah, that should be fine. Let's see. Okay,
Mhm.
got it. All right, I'm gonna post it right now, actually.
Sorry guys, I was eating Cheetos. There's a little bit of blood on the bottom. Well, yeah, that's how you do that. And to answer your question, all of the above. When I did my first desert drawing, I actually ended up giving it to my father for Father's Day, and I'd never done any anyway. And but I got on a bunch of trips with him, and I always wanted him to remind him that I did remember those times. And I did that once for him in as a birthday. I think it was a birthday, or I think it was Father's Day. And I ended up drawing it for him, and he kept it up on his walls and stuff. I don't know if I
Wow.
could get a picture of it to you later on. You could probably post that on there.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah. Okay, guys. For those of you guys who are a lot more advanced than me, once again, I am actually going to go with a little Sharpie pen. Alright. I'll try to do... let's see. Trying to think of it. What do you think? Should I just do the dragon head, man, or should I do the whole thing?
Well, I think what you showed us last time as a teaser for this live stream was an excellent example.
Okay.
Could you draw something like that? Or do you need a bigger paper, or is that fine?
No. Sorry, I'm drinking something. Alright, getting ready. Alright, and here we go. Alright, ask away, my friend.
Okay, so what inspirations do you use as reference? I remember a while back you actually recommended that people watch cartoons every day in order to get inspiration on drawing. And I would guess that's because, cartoons, that's basically the finished product of seasoned artists, and you could see multiple frames, multiple movements, multiple angles of the characters and the settings and the backgrounds that people can see as an example. So, would you let us know specifically which cartoons you like to watch as reference for your art?
For my artwork, I I actually take a lot of my artwork out of comics. So, but as I started my early career, I started watching a lot of actually very simple things. I started drawing things from like Super Mario Brothers. Excuse me. And I started doing things like as simple as Bowser, as King Koopa as well, as they used to call him for some years, and then they ended up calling him Bowser. I don't know why. And so this is a very hairy dragon right here. And so what I ended up doing is I actually started tracing things because I didn't quite understand how to do them on my own yet. So with that, I started to get down the basis of how things were drawn. And after a while, you think, well, I've done enough tracing. And one day I just ran out of paper, and I said, well, I gotta draw something, so I freehanded for the first time ever. And my friend, his name was Jesse at the time. I don't remember where he ended up going. I think he ended up going to a different school sometime. This was in elementary. And I remember him telling me, well, man, why don't you just do that freehand? And I did. And it ended up looking so much better than what I used to do when I used to just trace the same thing over and over again. But I noticed I would always imagine how it would look like if I did it on my own. And so that's what a lot of people, I tell people to do is draw a Pokemon, draw anything that inspires you. And that's what I used to draw. I used to draw a lot of monsters, a lot of creatures, because they were very fascinating to me. You can't just draw anything and just go for it, like that. But eventually you will get to that point where you go, well, can I? And, should I? But you will eventually push your limits and your boundaries.
So could we say that it's almost like when we start tracing, that's almost like having the training wheels on a bicycle. But then later on,
there you go. Yes.
You make a leap of faith.
Yes, very much so.
Right?
Very much. And what I like to think of it is that was the skeletal part of drawing that I used to learn. As I used to learn how things were very much drawn in the basicest way that I thought possible, And from there on out, you start to give your own creations flesh through your imagination. The type of flesh that, you can give him the arms that you want. You can give this thing, more eyes if you want. And that's where I really started to feel like, I guess what people would call like, I don't know, the urge, the drawing urge, the creation urge to keep going and doing your own thing. Just how far can I go? This is a very different style dragon, by the way, in the sense that I've done most other ones. And so... yeah.
Okay, and I guess another question would be, how you mentioned how imperfection is perfection, which I think is an excellent quote that could be applied in multiple areas of life. But would that reflect what probably many artists go through, in which if you're too much of a perfectionist and you want everything to be flawless, that kind of holds you back. But when you're a bit loose or more allowing in the way that your art evolves, then that actually lets you progress a lot faster and eventually get better because you're more accepting of the imperfections. And I guess in order to tie this up to a broader question, like you as an artist, when you draw, you might see your drawings in one way, and you might be able to notice quote unquote flaws or things that you wish were a little different. But then people who see your drawings, they see it from different eyes, and they see the overall thing, and they might say, this is an excellent, perfect drawing, but in your head you might say, yeah, but I wish I would have done this different or that different. How do you recommend people move beyond that and be able to accept imperfection as perfection itself?
First and foremost, the best thing you can do is, I know how people can grow attached to their own work, and I know that the best way that you can stop being judgmental to yourself is pat yourself on the back every time you draw something. Not everybody is going to be there to do that to you. You will feel it when a person gives you a compliment. Please do not shrug it off. They are trying to give you as best advice as they can. And if you want it harsher, you want to push yourself, that's fine, to the limit. It's good, but a little bit too much discipline can actually make you not want to draw so much. I actually have come through periods where I just drew so much and I kept failing and failing and failing because I kept trying to expect one side, one thing of drawing. And let's say, like, I was trying to do, let's say, Vegeta or something like that everybody loved Dragon Ball Z, and my God, I was never into that series, but that's okay because I respected other people for it, and I still do. But I try to do stuff like that, and it just wouldn't come out, and I kind of almost hated myself. I was like, how is it I can't do this? How? I'm doing all these other things. I should be able to please a crowd and be able to do everything, but you can't. And that's like saying you're human, is what I like to tell people. Is you're only human. Your imagination is beyond human. That has no limit, okay? And I want you guys to think of, well, I think that's pretty much like how I put it down, is that I want you guys to think of yourselves as the ultimate judges, but at the same time, don't be your own executioner, You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to burn out, because then you'll get drawer's block, and that's okay. Drawer's block is one thing, but you don't want to hate drawing. If you hate drawing, it's not for you. Don't do it. If you want to do a different kind of drawing, get into it. Try anime. Try any other kind of style. Try darker tones. Try medieval things. Try all kinds of things. What I recommend is flexibility will help you find yourself, and in the best way possible.
I'm actually writing down your quotes because they're really good.
Okay, so, and I think that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else would just have to be, and if you have a flaw, don't show the world. If you'd like to show people, look, this may be perfect to you, but there's something I messed up over here. This picture right here, I could have just said, my God, I already fucked it up. Oh God, I wish I could have done this hand over here. I could have done a hand over here. Well, guess what? You can. Nobody says you can't. Look at this. I can still put a hand over here, because guess what? That's not his leg. That's not his arm. That's his leg. So never put impossibilities in front of you. Always make something happen for you, as well as it does in life for you. There may be a lot of obstacles you have to come in across in life, but let me tell you something. They're just obstacles. They're things that are there to test you on how well you can do things, and that comes with practice, my friends. And practice can hurt, and practice can be very, agonizing and boring and time consuming, but let me tell you something, it will pay off. If there's one thing that you can listen to me and remember, is that practice will pay off on you. So
that's the most important thing, right?
Somebody said, somebody might think that's impossible. How could you put an arm right there? That looks that doesn't look right. That doesn't, there you go. I just put an arm. It's not perfect. Who cares?
Right. I agree. That looks excellent.
And let's give him another one. All right. Any other questions, my friend?
Well, let's see. Let me try to remember. Okay, so you're inspired by comic books and video games and maybe certain cartoons, right? We could say perhaps the Ninja Turtles, perhaps what else?
Horror movie. Well,
Horror
that's definitely a
movies.
big one.
So live action as well,
Yes.
because the monsters themselves could be inspirations. So would you say that, the fact that you're basically into art that it leans more towards, the like tattoo looking art, or monsters and zombies and things like that, of that nature, would you say that it's your niche because that's where you found inspiration? However, if other people are motivated by, for example, anime, that would be myself, then that means that my art style would naturally be different, just because if you lean into your passions, it moves you forward because it motivates you to keep going. Whereas
Yes, it will.
if you try to be a perfectionist, like in your case, Vegeta, in a cartoon that you weren't really into so much, it didn't come out because maybe the underlying passion was not as strong in that regard, right? So, I like what you said about flexibility moves you forward. We could say that flexibility is like the catalyst for progress. Flexibility is what, it's like if you drive a car, you still need the shock absorbers because you need the wheel to be flexible enough to move around when there's bumps on the road, or what we would call the challenges, right? The challenges that you spoke about earlier that we inevitably face. And these challenges, are definitely tests, or little obstacles to go through. I mean, I could totally relate to one thing that you said. For example, I'm trying to learn a song in my guitar, and I've been playing guitar for many, many years. But it's frustrating because even though I can definitely do it, the practice itself is a grind. The practice is frustrating. The practice is a pain in the you-know-what. But practice does pay off. That's basically one of the most important points, right? Like, we just have to remember that practice does pay off. And it's as simple as that. It sucks having to put it so simply because a lot of people look for the quote-unquote secret, right? They look like, hey, so how do you do it? Can you tell me? Like a trade secret. You gotta practice. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. No.
Yeah, if you don't want to put in the hours, you're not gonna put it. You're not gonna do it. Okay. This is like something as simple as my friends that used to weight lifts, that used to go exercising with me and used to motivate me and say, if you don't put in the work, you're not gonna get results. They used to tell me that, and I says, wow, that's really motivating. Actually, and I used to apply that to everything. It's like, wow, if I don't, do that, like, wow, it's not gonna happen. Like, well, shit, Movement is what makes things happen.
Right.
As you're seeing right here, as I'm drawing, I imagine the movements as this dragon comes to life. I have to breathe life into it. You know what I mean? And once again, it goes back to your passion. You have to have a fire for what you do. Everybody has it. Whether you might be into typing, whether you might be into writing, creating something, I encourage you. Do it to the fullest. Get counselors if you need them. I did, and it paid off because I would sometimes hit walls that I didn't know what I was doing wrong. The best advice I could get to you is from people that know what they've done before you, and just people that that are there for you. Like if you go to a gym and you want to lose weight, but you do all these machines and you do all this stuff, and in the end you don't get any results. Well, maybe it's because of the diet you're doing. Maybe it's because of the way that you're eating. Maybe it's the way that your technique is based off. Maybe it's the time of day frame of the day frame that you're doing your workout. Whatever it is, and whatever part of your body you're trying to fix, or whatever you're trying to do, try different methods. Ask. Don't be shy. It's okay to share your work with people. Well, with art, it's kind of a little bit. It depends. Everybody's kind of, oh, I don't want to share my work and this and that. Open up a little bit, man. Because you never know. There might be some kind of technique that this person that you might not know for, whatever reason, could show you something, and you could learn something from somebody. And you never know. You could learn a new trait. You could learn something that could help you down along the road that you didn't even know you had to do. I didn't know I was going to have to do logos and stuff like that down the roads, but I'm very glad. I wanted to do some calligraphy in like high school, but I took some classes here and there in other places, and it kind of helped out. I wasn't that big on the calligraphy thing, but because like I said, I wanted to do comics. But yeah, that's just something that came up. A lot of people would always ask me, "Why don't you do the logo for a band, bro?" All right, yeah. And I've gotten to the point where I kind of get sick and tired of those.
Oh,
but anyway.
Joe.
But yeah.
Something just occurred
But
to
yeah.
me. I'd like you to finish your thought because I don't want to interrupt, but something just came to mind. But go ahead.
Yeah. So actually, I was finishing up right here, and are you good on your end right there?
All right, then. What I was just thinking right now. Let's say there's people watching who want to continue to learn about art, and we might tell them, all right, continue practicing or look for an online class or go to a community college. But let's say they might actually be interested in probably having a Zoom conference with you and paying you for it. Would that be something that maybe in the future you might be open to, like one-on-one sessions with people who might be interested in learning directly from you?
Well, see, now you're giving me too much work, Carlos.
I'm just throwing out thoughts. I'm just throwing out thoughts out there. I barely thought of this right now.
And you waited till I went live to do this. I see how you're doing it. Okay.
Ideas come randomly,
okay.
Joe. You know that.
Yeah, so there you go. Randomness is good, though. I mean, you know what I mean? It depends. Again, I guess I'd have to find a good enough crowd of people that are interested in it. Once again, this is actually the opposite way of what I used to teach. If you're not interested in it, then I don't want to teach it. You know what I mean? If you're just going to go into my class and just yawn and say, "Well, hey, how do you do this?" Fine, you're kind of just asking. It's good to ask questions, but if you're just going to be there and pick your nose and be a doofus, and but I figure, it's a little different when you're online or whatever.
All right. Well, alternatively,
Quite possibly.
Something lighter than something a lot lighter than that, because that was like a ton of bricks. But what if somebody who's watching the live stream, they want to comment on the live stream video and ask a question about, hey, about shapes, how could they be useful in drawings in this context? Or, hey, what if they have a curiosity, can they just comment on the video and maybe you could check out the comments and if you want, maybe answer a few questions regarding drawing?
Anybody can message me at any time, actually, and
Wonderful.
I would be more than happy to answer those questions personally.
Wonderful.
And
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I'll leave my link in the description. Hopefully, Carlos will put it in there.
Wonderful.
And if you think I'm a horrible artist, you can go to hell.
Whoever thinks that is wrong, because look at what we're seeing right now. That dragon looks amazing.
There you go.
Oh wow, that's amazing. What's he holding? Is he holding like a Dragon Ball or something? Is that Shenron?
Orbs. Yeah, just orbs of power, I guess. Like I said.
Orbs of power. Anyway, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. Okay, now I'm gonna share it on Facebook. I mean, I feel like at this time of night, a lot of people are already asleep, so some people might comment afterwards when they watch a replay of this. So some people might not be able to join us live, but if you watch
That's
this
fine.
video a little later,
Check for
then
them.
they could still comment, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Leave your comments.
Right.
That'd be fun. We like reading those. We'll get to them eventually. I didn't go too into detail with the little castle in the background because I think that'll be for another day. I don't think I'll put like a little moon in the background. There we go. Now this is a crescent moon.
That is amazing. That is really amazing. I think there's people who would definitely pay for something like that. Like,
Yeah. There you go.
by the way, people watching this live stream, regardless of the time regardless of when you watch it, maybe if you offer Joe to buy that specific drawing that was made live before your eyes, maybe he could sign it. Maybe he could mail it out to you. I'm saying maybe because I
Yes.
don't know. You could ask him.
Most definitely. If anybody's interested in buying these, contact me. And yeah, I have no problems in putting prices on my artwork.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
used to, but not anymore. Yeah,
Wonderful.
so if anybody thinks that they'd like this, maybe you want it in your living room or something like that, go ahead, contact me. I am open to suggestions and offers as well.
That sounds perfect.
And I'm
And,
just adding a little
uh,
to kind of give the contrast on here.
and quick question. I'm
Hope
just
it's not too dark for some people.
that looks great, but yeah, I'm putting you on the spot all the time. But what if multiple people want the same thing? Would you be willing to probably make copies of it for some people? But if somebody wants the originals, maybe for the right, respectable price, somebody could have the original. If multiple people want that specific drawing at the same time. I'm just imagining.
That's a very good question. I'm very glad you brought that up. I do prints personally for people as well, yes. So if you'd like this, not just in the size that it is, and you'd like to go a little bit cheaper, because who doesn't want to pay less for something a lot bigger, and I could keep the original. You can actually ask me for that, and I can do an 11 by 14 for you, quite possibly even bigger if you'd like. But I recommend the 11 by 14s. They're very
That's
nice.
wonderful. Yeah.
I've done Evil
Oh.
Dead prints like that, and RoboCop, all this kind of stuff, and it's just so everybody could get a slice of my artwork. A lot of people want to take some stuff home, not everybody can, and not everybody has enough cash to take an original. You know what I mean? And so that's why I do that.
Oh wow, that's an amazing drawing. And again, people, if you want to keep a poster of this in your wall, Halloween's not too far from the filming of this live stream, so you could contact Joe not only for that specific art piece, but there's multiple other examples that Joe has that he's created long before this, and a lot more that he's going to create in the future as well. So I think we should definitely reach out to Joe. And just very quick, so this is basically one of the firsts of a series of video interviews that Joe and I would like to make as part of something that we call the Local Lantern, in which we try to shed light on local artists, regardless of what content creation they do, whether it's drawings, whether it's music, whether it's writings, whatever it is. But we want to make more local people known, more, we want people to focus not only on the big shots, but to give people, in their proximity a chance. And one of the advantages of giving, people in their community a chance, people who create content, is that they have more of a connection with you. Like right now, we could speak to Joe, we could message Joe, but we can't really do that with the big wigs, with the big corporate, artists. So we got to support the people in our own communities in order to create like a bohemian community of content creation where we inspire ourselves from our own efforts and creativity. So again, that's the Local Lantern, and in the future we would like to continue to create content like this. What are your thoughts on that, Joe?
Well, as I'm lighting up our life for here, I'm still going. I got a lot of juice in me. I think this would be a very good thing to do. If you guys have any friends that you guys would like us to talk to or interview, or just do you think that there's a person out there that you think is worthy of just a lot more than a credit than they're being given to? Come and talk to us. Come forth with us and journey into this new project that we're doing, because really we're here to shed light, just like this picture.
Exactly.
And we're here to go to all corners of the world, black, white, red, yellow, everywhere, and we want to see your style, your music, your culture, everything. If you think it needs more light, if you think you can come out here and do that, come out here, join us.
Yeah, the fact is we don't have to go too far to find talent, don't we?
Oh, not that much. Yeah, I guess we could keep doing interviews with me, I guess, but that would be boring. Eventually we would get booted. Yeah.
That would be fine, but we're open to having a lot of people. I mean, I feel like I know a few writers. Joe probably knows a lot of other people who probably make music or, art as well. And, but either way, if you're watching this, from an extended recommendation, then you could also reach out and comment on this video, as, we could talk to you, and maybe we could do a live stream with you and see if we can grow our community of local content creators. And by local, I don't mean that it has to be from one state or the other, or one place or the other. I mean, your friendly neighborhood, everyday people, not the big corporate, brand name stuff that we get all the time. We want to shed light on people who are underrepresented and over talented. By the way, that looks great.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going off and see. This is what a lot of people see me do at work, at just places when I'll be doing anything when I have time off. There you go. I mean, Local Lantern.
Oh wow. Let's just conclude with me taking a screenshot of that real quick. That looks great. Okay, cool. Alright, well, again, like it says right there, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.